But yo, check this out. The man sitting on $450 million while running a whole nation. That's right, Cyril Ramaphosa ain't just the president of South Africa, he's one of the richest men on the continent. This billionaire businessman turned politician owns more luxury property than some small towns, and his prized cattle sell for nearly $100,000 each. But this ain't even half his story. What if I told you this same man once fought alongside Nelson Mandela against apartheid before building an empire that rivals some of America's wealthiest black entrepreneurs? What does it take to go from township struggles to presidential power? How does a man born under apartheid rise to control both political and financial kingdoms? Today, we're stepping into the extraordinary world of Cyril Ramaphosa, South Africa's 5th president. I'm breaking down his unbelievable journey, the victories, the controversies, and the secrets most folks don't know about. By the end, I'll reveal the mysterious scandal that almost ended his presidency, something they don't want y'all to know. But first, could you survive the challenges this man faced as a young activist? Let's find out. Born November 17th, 1952 in Soweto. Yeah, that's Soweto where the famous uprising happened. Little Cyril grew up in a township designed to segregate black South Africans during apartheid. His father, a police officer working within a system designed to oppress his own people. Imagine that contradiction shaping your childhood. While our American civil rights movement was gaining ground, young Ramaphosa was attending school in Soweto, where education for black children was deliberately inferior. But this kid had something different, a fierce intelligence that couldn't be suppressed. In 1972, while enrolled at the University of the North, Ramaphosa joined the South African Students Organization, SASO, and the Black People's Convention, BPC. Y'all know what happened. He got arrested for organizing protests, spent 11 months in solitary confinement. Let me ask y'all something. Could you spend nearly a year in isolation for standing up for your rights? This was a man who knew his purpose early. While studying law, he became involved with the Council of Unions of South Africa. By his late 20s, he was organizing black workers who had almost no rights in the mines, one of South Africa's most dangerous and exploitative industries. This was the beginning of his power, but his greatest challenges were still to come. By 1982, something remarkable happened. Ramaphosa founded the National Union of Mine Workers, NUM, and transformed it from just 6,000 members to over 300,000 strong. Think about that. Organizing thousands of black workers under an apartheid government that could arrest you anytime. That's like organizing a massive movement under Jim Crow in America. When Nelson Mandela was released from prison in 1990, who was standing by his side? Cyril Ramaphosa. When negotiations began to end apartheid, who was the ANC's lead negotiator? Cyril Ramaphosa. The man literally helped write South Africa's constitution, often called one of the most progressive constitutions in the world. Many thought he'd be Mandela's successor, but when Thabo Mbeki was chosen instead, Ramaphosa made a move that shocked everyone. He stepped away from politics and entered the business world. Was this a strategic retreat or a power move? Between 1996 and 2014, this man went from politician to mega businessman. He started with New African Investments Laitia, then founded the Shanduka Group, acquiring stakes in mining, banking, telecommunications, and McDonald's South Africa. His business empire expanded faster than anyone expected. By 2015, Forbes estimated his wealth at $450 million. How did he do it? Let me show you. Ramaphosa didn't just invest, he dominated. His Shanduka Group became a powerhouse holding company with interests in resources, energy, real estate, banking, insurance, and telecommunications. This man had his hands in almost every sector of South Africa's economy. But his true passion, farming, not just any farming, luxury cattle breeding. In a move that shows his vision, Ramaphosa purchased 43 Ankole cattle from Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. These aren't just any cows, they're massive horns and exotic appearance make them status symbols. At his Fala Fala farm, a single Ankole cow recently sold for 1.8 million rand. That's over $95,000 for one cow. Ask yourself, how many businessmen can turn cattle into luxury items? That's the kind of business mind we're dealing with. Beyond cattle, Ramaphosa owns 30 townhouses in Johannesburg, apartments in Cape Town, and over 5,100 hectares of prime farmland. His wealth stands in stark contrast to most South Africans, raising questions about economic inequality in the post-apartheid era. But here's something wild. Despite all this wealth, controversy came not from how much money he made, but from how some of that cash was was stored at his farm. In 2014, Ramaphosa returned to politics as South Africa's deputy president under Jacob Zuma. By 2017, with corruption scandals surrounding Zuma, the ANC turned to Ramaphosa as their new leader. In February 2018, he became South Africa's fifth democratic president, promising a new dawn for the country. His presidency has faced massive challenges: corruption, power outages, COVID-19, economic stagnation, and high unemployment. Still, his administration has vaccinated over 39 million people during the pandemic and worked to stabilize the power supply crisis. Currently, Ramaphosa is working to reset South Africa's international relations. Just yesterday, he arrived in Washington, D.C. to meet with U.S. leaders to strengthen economic ties. His business acumen is now being applied to national diplomacy, but let's keep it real. His presidency hasn't escaped controversy. In 2022, the Fala Fala Farmgate scandal erupted when it was revealed that millions in foreign currency had been stolen from his game farm. Questions swirled. Why was this cash not in a bank? Was it properly declared? Although prosecutors ultimately decided not to press charges against Ramaphosa, the incident damaged his reputation as an anti-corruption crusader. The farm theft trial is literally happening right now in South African courts, with 3 suspects facing charges. But there's more to this story. Here's what most people don't know about Ramaphosa. Despite his immense wealth, he lives modestly compared to many political figures. Unlike his predecessor, who built a private compound with government money, Ramaphosa largely separates his business interests from his political role. The real secret? His wife, Dr. Tshepo Motsepe, is the sister of billionaire mining magnate Patrice Motsepe, meaning Ramaphosa is connected to 2 of South Africa's wealthiest families. This power couple represents a new kind of African elite, educated, wealthy, and politically connected in ways that shape an entire nation's future. From apartheid activist to billionaire president, Cyril Ramaphosa's journey reveals what's possible when determination meets opportunity. But does his story represent hope for everyday Africans or the consolidation of power among a new elite? I want to know your thoughts. Drop a comment below on whether you think leaders with massive wealth can truly represent regular people. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button if you want more deep dives into Africa's most powerful figures.